Rocket, we've got 14 or 15 players on the injury list now. Around 10 are best 22. Once again, the depth at the club seems to be being tested.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And I think any club would be in that situation. So no, I don't think we'd be alone in there. I don't think it's anything as far as coincidence that the top 3 or 4 teams don't have injuries on the ladder, and the bottom 4 teams, then us as an extra on that, have got the most injuries. Fremantle, Collingwood, Brisbane. So in a tough, even competition, that can be, I suppose, a tipping point, a breaking point. But having said that, we were pleased with our first half last week. We really, effort was terrific. It bounced back. And then the way the numbers just after half time, obviously we fell away badly. So we've got to be able to address that. We've got to take responsibility for that. We've got to be able to address that. So we obviously take some positivity out of the last 10 games of last year. We're able to do that with lesser teams. We're really decimated last year. So we're able to hang in games and show some fight, and that's what we're going to be able to do.
I know we need troops back on the field, but another 6 changes this week. Does a lack of continuity hurt the team as well?
Yeah, it does. It does a bit. Obviously 4 with injuries, and we've dropped 2. But now we've really got to make a stand as well that we've got to get the contest right, and we really need competitive players who are prepared to give us a contest. So players are going to be picked on that initially, and then form and that will follow after that. But certainly we had too many players, especially after half time, not giving us a contest that we should have had. So we've got to just keep turning players. I think a positive last week was Darcy McPherson. Wouldn't have got his opportunity without injuries, like last year Hall and Lonergan. So we're going to be able to find some players out of this, out of the wreck at the moment, as far as the bodies go. But I've got every confidence in the group. They're staying upbeat. They're staying positive about where we're headed, and I've got no doubt we'll be okay by the end of the year.
Facing the Giants this week, they've won 4 in a row, averaging about 130 points a game. Do we take a more defensive mindset into this week's game?
We'll try a few things. We've got to do some things differently. We can't afford to have the turnovers because they've been the turnover kings. If you turn it over, they've scored more than any other team in the competition. So where we kick the ball and how we move the ball forward will have to be looked at. But having said that, we've got to kick some goals. Now we've got Tommy Lynch forward, who's second in the Coleman, who's doing extremely well. So we've got to give him enough looks at it as well. We can't afford to be too defensive. If we do that, it ends up being the fact that we don't score. So we've got to be able to score.
You just spoke about Tom Lynch. Obviously kicked another 4 last week and pushing himself into that elite status. You've been in the game a long time. Where do you see him in terms of key forwards you've come across?
He's certainly different and unique compared to other key forwards I've been involved with, but his greatest attribute, apart from his marking, his ability to compete and stays in the contest, and he's a very competitive guy. He's developing now into a good leader. He's still got a little bit to go in that area, but he's certainly developing nicely. But his ability to influence a contest is terrific, and he's kicking better, so he's taking the most of his opportunities at the moment, which is great.
How much better can he become?
He's still only young. And I think he'll be better with a better side around him. So get some good support around him in the forward line, but certainly some good service from the midfield. We've got 3 or 4 of our good midfielders out, so getting those back into the side will help him as well.
Sam Day did a really good job last week on Jesse Hogan. Another big challenge for him this week, probably on Jeremy Cameron.
Yeah, he's been terrific, Sam. He's hot and cold last year, and probably his whole career. And his first 4 games was pleasing as a forward, and we've had to put him down back. And did well on Petrie, kept him to 2. Down on Geelong, got injured and struggled a bit. But then on Hogan, they've kicked 20 odd goals, and Hogan's only kicked 1. So that seems to get lost in the media a little bit about how well he's doing. So it's been really pleasing from our point of view.